you a basic introduction about Gosu language. We have different languages available in the market. For example, C, C++, Python, Java, etc. Likewise, Gosu is also a programming language. It is similar to Java but having some syntactical changes. And it is an object-oriented programming language so that we can create objects and classes, everything. Here in Rapid Technologies, we work on Guidewire projects. So our Guidewire technology is developed using Gosu language. In Guidewire, we use Gosu language for developing business rules, entity enhancements, Gosu classes, workflow and entity names. First one is business rules. Here we use logic for testing a condition or performing an action. For example, validations, event messaging, etc. Validation is nothing but we all know that to check whether the data is valid or not to continue. And event messages. Here performing an action or performing an event, based on the event occurred, a message will be generated. That is nothing but event messaging. Now coming to entity enhancement. Entity enhancement is nothing but improving the functionality or the property of the entity. Let me discuss an example here. We have an entity named AB person and we have all the data about the person. Now the requirement is the customer want to display age of the person, but we are not having any field with age. Now here we have to calculate the age. We have a field named date of birth in the entity. So using that date of birth we have to calculate the age. So here we are writing a code to improve the functionality, to improve the property, like to improve the age property of the entity. That is nothing but entity enhancement. Gosu classes. As I have mentioned before, it is an object-oriented program. Here we can create classes and objects to improve the functionality of the whole Guidewire product. Now coming to workflow. We all know that workflow is nothing but list of events executed or performed in a time-based manner. For example, we have delinquency in billing center. Delinquency is nothing but initiating the cancellation of the policy. Whenever the delinquency triggers, the first event is dunning letter 1. Dunning letter 1 will be sent to customer on the day 1. And after 2 to 3 days, dunning letter 2 will be sent. And after 2 to 3 days, notice of intent to cancel will be sent. Likewise, there are some actions to take place based on the time manner. Here we write a code to perform those list of events. That is nothing but workflow. Now coming to entity names. We have names to each and every entity in the Guidewire. So, but we want to display them in a different manner. So here we are writing a code or we are writing a logic to display the entity names. That is nothing but here we use Gosu for this purpose. And now coming to basic Gosu statements and syntaxes. First one is declaration of a variable. For any logic you are going to write, we should have a variable to store a value. So here we are declaring a variable. So the syntax to declare a variable is var variable name colon data type equal to value. Where var is the keyword used to define that we are declaring a new variable. Now coming to variable name. Variable name is nothing but the variable which you are going to use. Data type. Data type is nothing but it is the type of data you are going to store in this variable name. So here in Guidewire we have different data types. Int, char, boolean, double, float, etc. And the value is the initial value you are going to store, whether it may be 0 or it may be null or it may be some value. Now coming to condition operators. Like as other programming languages, here also we have condition operators. For example, if else, for loop, while loop. If else is nothing but we all know that based on if the condition is true, we have to execute the first block of the code, and if the condition is false, we have to execute the second block of the code. That is nothing but if else. And for loop and while loop. For loop and while loop, we all know that if the condition is true, based on the number of instances, if the condition is true, we are going to execute the block of the code, and if it is false, we are coming out of the block. Now coming to ternary operator. Here also we have ternary operator. Ternary operator is nothing but we have 3 statements here. Condition, expression 1 and expression 2. Condition is, if the condition is true, expression 1 will be executed, and if the condition is false, expression 2 will be executed. Now coming to comparators. Here we have 3 types of comparators: equality comparators, relational comparators and compound comparators. Equal to comparators, double equal to, not equal to. Relational comparators are greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Compound comparators are nothing but and then logical and logical or. These are nothing but we use these comparators in the condition. While we are giving a condition, we use these type of comparators. Now coming to arrays. We all know that array is nothing but storing list of similar type of values in a single variable. So here the syntax to declare an array is nothing but where variable name equal to new data type square brackets. This square bracket defines that it is an array. Where is defining, we are declaring a variable, it is the keyword and new is the keyword, a is the variable name. These are another types to declare variable. As we can give the values while declaring a variable, or we can give the values we can give the initial values after declaring a variable. Now coming to common array method, we have some methods which are used in common in Guidewire. Has match, count where, first where. Has match and condition. Count where and condition. First where and condition. Has match. It will retrieve a boolean value, that is true or false value, if any element in the array satisfies the condition. And count where is nothing but it will give number of values that are satisfying the given condition. And first where is nothing but the first element which is satisfying the condition. So let us discuss an example here. We have an array of elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we have a condition greater than 2. So first has match. This will give, here we have two values that are greater than 2. So it will give true value. Now coming to count where. Here we have two values which are greater than 2. So here it gives the output is 2. Like count of number of elements that are satisfying the condition. So here two elements are satisfying the condition. So it will give 2. Now coming to first where. First where is nothing but it will retrieve the first element which is satisfying the condition. So here 3 is the first element which is satisfying the condition greater than 2. So here the output is 3. Now coming to objects. As we have mentioned before, Gosu is an object-oriented programming language. We have different objects. So we have classes and we have objects here. So the syntax to create an object is where object name equal to new class. And we have different properties for each object. So to set a value to the property of the object, we have the syntax is object name dot property name equal to value. So here we can give the value to the property. Like for example, we have an object named rectangle and we have a class named rectangle and we are creating two rectangles, two objects, rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. So we have to give the values to the properties, length and breadth. So rectangle 1 dot length equal to some value, rectangle 1 dot breadth equal to some value. Likewise, we are going to give the we are going to set the values. And now sometimes we have to store those property values in another variable. So the syntax to store those values of the properties is nothing is variable name equal to object name dot property name. So we are going to store value of length of the rectangle 1. So in A, so here A equal to rectangle 1 dot length. That is nothing but the value of length of the rectangle 1 will be storing in this variable A. This is nothing but introduction to Gosu. I hope you have learnt basic things about Gosu. Thank you.